Hi everybody, this is Gat Sad for the Sad Truth. This constitutes my third clip of the day. Earlier today I posted my chat that I held last week with Kenneth Miller, the biologist from Brown University. And just a few minutes ago I posted my 600th celebratory clip. And I'm now compelled to post the current clip that you're watching because I just received an email from a doctoral student at a Canadian university, which again speaks to the lunacy that I and a few other professors are fighting against. I will avoid, of course, sharing the person's name and the university that he or she is at, and I might even leave out some stuff where the person in question says what they're studying so that I can ensure that his or her identity is protected, which is quite extraordinary that this is the type of measure that we have to take in the 21st century in Canada. And as I said before on numerous occasions, I receive innumerable such messages. And if you see me upset and frustrated, it's because I can't believe that this is the reality that we now face in Canada and certainly in the US. So here we go. Hi, Dr. Sad. I'm a PhD student at name withheld. In the last few years, I've seen some of the transformations you and other outspoken academics have described about the Canadian campuses. I'd just like to describe my situation and ask you for some advice. I work on projects that are rooted in science. The person in question then describes some of the research that he or she engages in. I won't read it. I also teach fourth-year undergraduates and can confirm that the majority of my students are far left-leaning in their beliefs, likely due to going through 4 years of social justice boot camp. I TA for an instructor who at the start of a semester has had her students stand up, say their name and preferred pronouns. She then proceeded to laugh openly in a meeting with me and two other TAs about a student who emailed her saying he was uncomfortable about having to do that. The hypocrisy in this does not need to be explained. My evolutionary rooted views are not welcome in my lab or even my department. My undergraduate degree is in evolutionary biology, and in my spare time I choose to learn about the evolutionary reasons for human behavior. I feel somewhat muzzled because of this. So let me just pause here. A student feels muzzled to share their interests in evolution in Canada. I've considered leaving academia because in all honesty, I think that I'd probably say something that would upset my colleagues and would not make it to tenure. Again, imagine what this person's saying. They're a doctoral student. They seem like apparently a promising student. They're at a very good university, but they might leave academia because they simply can't hack the stifling ecosystem. I've sought out avenues to find a community for my support of viewpoint diversity. I'm a member of the Heterodox Academy, but don't see much changing on a day-to-day basis here. I fear my leaving academia would only give more power to it being overrun with social justice ideology. But I also fear that my staying could spell disaster for my future, as I either won't make it to tenure or the traditional university model crumbles. And by the way, many of you have written to me, oh, we love what you do. We want to support what you do. Thank you for all the content. We've learned more from your YouTube channel than in all of our university education. Please continue your efforts. We want to support it. But then very few people, I'm sorry to say, put their money where their mouth is and actually offer some financial support. If you were to do that, it could allow me to pursue other projects that I'd like to do so that we could offer an alternate repository of content and spend more time doing so in addition to the extraordinary amount of time that I already do. So if you truly support my cause and that of fellow travelers, then the least you can do is offer a minimal amount of financial support. I was hoping that you could provide any advice you may have for someone in my situation. If I could have my way, I would teach evolutionary psychology at the college university level. Do you have any colleagues that you know at name of the university withheld who would be welcoming to talking with me about informally learning under their supervision? What do you think is going to happen to the Canadian university system? Is it advisable to pursue other avenues? Thank you for reading this. I appreciate what you have been doing publicly in your advocacy for freedom of expression. I wouldn't have the courage to push back if others like you hadn't already done so. Thank you. I appreciate your kind words. I will continue to fight for you and for others like you so that we could truly live in a free society where people can say what they feel, speak their minds, think what they want to think, and not be bullied by the unbelievable, stifling environment that we are increasingly seeing on university campuses. So again, if you support my efforts, if you support students like this person who is having to engage in a calculus for a Faustian bargain, should he stay in academia and risk being run out of town, or should he just run out of town and preempt the whole thing? That's a horrible, a dreadful reality that no graduate student in a free society should face simply because he or she wishes to study evolutionary psychology or doesn't wish to be bothered with preferred gender pronouns and other social justice activism. Have a good day, everybody. Cheers.